Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Hardline Transport Solutions Rebels Truck Series here at the original Rebels Racing League. My name's Eddie Smith. Welcome to VSRN here over in V-Speed. We got an exciting race for you tonight. We got the Truck Series taking on Homestead and Miami Speedway, and we all have started to love this track more and more. It's been around for a while, but you know, it's just an awesome race, especially now where it sits. Everybody wants it to be the last race. Man, I feel like it's such a good race right where it sits. And puts on a pretty good show. And in these trucks, it's going to put on a fun show. It's one of the few tracks where I feel like you can honestly run multiple lines. But here in the Truck Series, it's been an amazing season so far. We've had some really great races. A lot of folks show up every week. I mean, more than 30 drivers, or right at 30 drivers, almost every race. But Homestead, Miami, progressive banking, going to be able to run the top, the bottom, and the middle, and a little bit in between. 1.5 milers. You see the capacity there. 46,000 people that can be there, and it opened in 1995. So one of the newer tracks, but one of the more worn-out tracks on the actual surface now, on the circuit now, and provides some pretty good racing. I think we'll see a great show here tonight. Take a look at the schedule right quick, and we can see we're down. Just 3 races remain, 4 races remain until the playoffs start. An interesting playoff. Just a 2-race playoff, no rounds. I mean, you have the final top 5 are going to go racing in the championship in Charlotte, but only 2 rounds in the playoffs are only going to take the top 10. So going to be a lot to think about. Time is now if you're looking to maybe be a champion. Tonight is good. Be a good time for you to lock yourself in and be there if you're in the point, try to get enough points to make it. Let's take a look at the point standings, where they sit. Michael Kostick with a pretty nice lead. Drop week still can happen over time, but we'll see if it if anything changes here later in the season. There's a lot of folks there right around that cutoff line. You see Lucas Line just 2 points out. You got the win, but the win doesn't lock you in. We know that right now. So a lot to think about. If you're Brett Beaver, Mickey Isaac, you want to try to increase that gap to 10th place. That way you can make sure you make it into the round of 10 and fight for a championship. The qualifying is just now getting over. And you can see it's been Aaron Adcock, Michael Kostick, Jonathan Cofield type of season. Those guys with 2 wins. You got Andy Kurtz with the 1 win, Lucas Line with the 1, and Jeremiah Holt, who won at Daytona in thrilling fashion. But somebody else looking to get in that win column here tonight. Well, let's take a look at the grid and see who is going to be your Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner. And looky here, Steve McDonald gonna take over the top spot in that number 68 Silverado, as he's gonna start on the front row. Alongside him is gonna be Andy Kurtz. Starting in row number 2 is gonna be Lucas Lyons and Tracy Passons. Starting row number 3 is gonna be Alan Nash and Garrett Kinder. Row number 4 is going to be Michael Kostick and Kyle Roberts. Starting 9th and 10th is going to be Josh Lokovitz and Charles Stevens Jr. Starting 11th, going to be Kenneth Pack. 12th, Chuck Feltz. Starting 13th, Aaron Adcock and Brett Beaver in that 14th position. Starting at 15th, Jeremiah Holt, Spencer Gang, and roll off in 16th. 17th is going to be Brandon Wallace and Mickey Isaac in 18th. 19th is Tyler Rice and Tommy Osborne. 21st is going to be James Nelson and Stephon Davis. Alex Veith, Matt Clement going to be 23rd and 24th. 25th is going to be Curtis Saubrin. And 26th is going to be Mike Veith. 27th, Davey Jones and Gary Wright rounds out the field in 28th position. Take a look at your race analysis and get ready to go. Big setup to 100 laps here tonight. 2 green, white checkers and that 1 fastest pair if you need it. I think we're going to see a lot of green flag action here tonight. So 100 laps going to go by pretty quick. I imagine you're going to have at least 1 pit stop. We'll see what they end up doing, but you're going to see these guys moving around. Some guys try to get the high line a little bit earlier, some later, but we're going to find out who is going to take home the victory. Steve McDonald going to lead us down to the green flag, get this race underway here at Homestead, Miami, in the Hardline Truck Series. Green flag is out. Already a pretty good start for Andy Kurtz and Lucas Lyons. Steve McDonald, we saw him get loose there on camera, and he starts to fall back quickly. You see how much momentum he loses. You see the 27 of Alan Nash up top, working that top side already. Now, nothing's really changed. The top side will still wear your tires out, but it's a great way to make some passes if you need to go around somebody early. But I think you're going to see your long run drivers all be right around the bottom. So those at the top, they can make up some spots quickly, but you want to make sure that you take care of those tires. You don't want to abuse it. If you want to pass somebody, you can't go through them. So you have to maybe jump up on the outside and make something happen. You see Kenneth Pack continuing to run that top side. You can see the kind of run that he's going to get off the corner, and that will continue as the run goes on. So you kind of want to save that till later because the tight condition up on the top side is very frustrating. Man, Steve McDonald's just having trouble here early. Truck's getting really loose on cold tires, and he is struggling to keep that thing going straight. You see Kenneth Pack here, not really sure where to go, as he might take it 3 wide, actually lifts. Smart man. But yeah, I mean, you're going to see these guys. Eventually, you're going to jump up to the high line, and that's going to be the preferred groove as the tires start to wear. That bottom starts to go away. So you don't want to abuse that early because you're going to need it for the rest of the run. And if that thing gets a little bit too tight, you go down in 3 and 4, 1 and 2. You really want to be able to make sure that truck can turn and you don't burn that right front off early. But man, look, Kenneth Pack is already up into the wall. Watch here as he goes down into turn 1. You see a couple guys in front of him getting right up to the wall, not quite all the way where he needs to be. Want to have those right sides above that seam. And Steve McDonald going to come right up in front of him, slide, and Kenneth Pack going to have to go down to the bottom as Pack is continuing to move forward here. As you see just how many lanes these guys are able to run. I think it's a really, really good show here in the trucks for sure. And man, look at the side-by-side battle right up here between Michael Kostick, your points leader, and Alan Nash, who I would bet going to have a pretty deep playoff run in that 27 machine if he can stay out of trouble for sure. Take a look at who we got on cam tonight. We got Tyler Rice, Chuck Phelps, Mickey Isaac, Brandon Wallace, Aaron Adcock, Kyle Roberts, and Josh Lokovitz. Going to be your driver cams tonight. You can see they're all focused, trying to get these trucks wheeled around this track. There's going to be a little bit of draft, but like I said, after about 15 to 20 laps, you're going to start to see the groove move up, and everybody going to be fighting for that top line. We'll just see how quickly that happens based on the temperature. We'll take a look at that now. Track tip's actually about 84 degrees as the sun sets, which will cool that track off, and it should give you plenty of grip. Won't be too out of shape. Up front, though, it is Andy Kurtz, but he is not pulling away. He's got that clean air, but he is under fire already from a couple drivers like Lucas Lyon and Garrett Kinder. As Lucas gets a massive run off the top side, he's going to go down to the inside. We'll see if Andy can hold him off there on the top line. The 13 right behind the 25. Not going to be able to quite make it. You see the run that the top side gets. Lucas is going to have to fall back in. That's where in the next 10 to 15 laps you're going to see that top side be too strong. So Kurtz wants to run the bottom, but he is more than willing. Oh, my goodness, a little bit of loose condition there for Lucas Lyons. He comes off the corner. Had Garrett Kinder all over his back bumper, and that brought Tracy Passage into the fold. So Lucas getting really loose off the corner. And loses a little bit of momentum, and now the 13 is going to go to the inside. We'll see if he can complete the pass. He go down into turn 3. Lucas on the top side. He drives down on the door to the 13. Did not give the 13 the exit. We'll see if Kinder can make it work. Not quite able to do it. Oh, he is. Slides right up in front of Lucas and takes over the second spot. So he was able to clear. Already, really great battles. You just see how racy this track is. There's a lot of tracks where you just feel like you're following the leader and you really can't make up any moves. But here, it definitely feels like if you've got a fast truck, you can make your way through the field pretty quick. As now Lucas going the wrong way. Now Tracy Passon's going to make a move here on the inside. So Lucas going to have to start fighting. As he got Michael Kosick, points leader, already up a couple spots. Garrett Kinder, though, your current biggest mover inside the top 5. Good start to racing. Tracy Passon's there slow on the front stretch. Gets a little bit loose. He's going to lose a bunch of spots. Pretty much most that he had gained and a couple more. Going to lose there. Coming off the corner. Tracy already having some trouble, but he can kind of settle down now. Still only lap 12 of 100. These laps will click off pretty quick, especially if we stay green, which this track sort of lends itself to green flag racing. Hate to lose those spots, but he is not. But about 2 seconds off the lead while this draft is still pretty effective. He's already making a move here on Josh Lokovitz. Josh Lokovitz all the way back in the 27th position in points. He would like to have a pretty good day to start moving up through the field. A lot of these guys, once you get outside the top 20, a lot of folks that have missed some races, so they're missing some starts. And all that kind of gets factored in as we go. So the more races you run, he can drop off some bad races, some races where he wasn't present, and could jump you up pretty quick. So you need to have good days. I mean, that's something we'll talk about as we get down the last 2 or 3 races, is how important it is to get these finishes. Wins here are not the end-all be-all. They're nice, and they definitely give you the most points, but it doesn't lock you into the playoffs at all. So you want your good finishes. You want to make the best use out of your day and not have a lot of incidents trying to go checkers or wreckers. You don't want to drive into the sand barrels on the entry to pit road here trying to make up one spot. Andy Kurtz, though, continues to lead. And Scott Garrett Kinder starting to stalk him a little bit. Garrett was pretty quick that last time by, and I think we're seeing them start to jump up to the outside. But look here, look at this little battle back here. We'll keep watching that battle for the lead as Garrett Kinder drives down the track, but there is a cluster of cars back from 3rd to about 6th that are all over each other. Right now, Lucas trying to hold off the 8 machine, who drives right down to the bottom. And we're already starting to see that top side starting to come in a little bit, I think. We'll see. Lucas not able to make it work, but Michael Kosick makes it up into the 4th position. Of course, Michael, one of the best drivers in the field so far this season, an average finish of 4th. And he has pretty much started every race. So, I mean, if you got a championship favorite, you want to put something on some money that's guaranteed to get your return, Kosick's going to be that guy. He's just been so consistent. I mean, there's nobody with a closer average finish. Aaron Adcock, who sits 2nd in points, has an average finish of 7. So Michael Kosick having an average finish of 4th is actually pretty ridiculous. So really impressive stuff out of him. He continues to march forward as he's already starting to put a little pressure here on Alan Nash for that third position. Alan Nash, another one of those drivers you expect to see in the playoffs, but currently sits back in the 19th position in points. Going to have a lot of work to do if he's going to make it in that top 10. It's starting to get pretty busy. But if you've missed some races, you need to make sure you get up there and get caught up. And I think I like it. I like this, the way this is set up. The win and you're in thing is awesome. It makes people in real life race harder. But they have to show up every week. But in sim racing, it's easy for these guys to win a race and then they kind of go absent for a while or don't show up. Oh, we got 3 wide back here. Look at this. That's Charles Stevens, Kyle Roberts, and Aaron Adcock, who just drives by both of these on the outside. And, man, what a move by the 17 machine, who is cracking the top 10 here on lap 20. Oh, man, see Chuck Feltz back there really, really loose. Now the battle back here between these two is Aaron said, well, if y'all ain't going to settle it, I'm going to go ahead and just drive off. Kyle's not wearing his VR headset today, so I don't know if that make him better or worse. We'll find out. He's always wearing that thing, and tonight looks like he's going. Oh, man, look how loose he is there. You saw the steering wheel just kind of off of forward. Looks like that truck's a little bit nervous. But anyway, about the points, it is nice that you're able to, have reward guys for showing up every week. And I think that's always hard to try to do. And I think having it this way where you can't just win and be in, I think that's a great way of encouraging folks to show up every week, and it's worked. I mean, we've got 28 drivers here. We had 28 drivers last week at Darlington, as Kyle Roberts still struggling with the handling of this truck as Brett Bieber drives right around him. So 28 trucks at Darlington, you never see that. And that's just what you can expect here. A lot of support for this Rebels Truck Series. Back here you got Brandon Wallace, Spencer Gay, and Mickey Isaac. They battle side by side, or they settled it. Now Spencer Gay going to fall back a little bit. That 99 machine now looking to the inside of the 01. I'm going to be honest and say I've seen some improvement out of Brandon Wallace. I've seen some speed come out of that 99 machine in the ARCA car and even in the trucks. Not qualifying well, but I've seen him start to race a little bit better, have some better race speed. So Brandon Wallace improving, having some good finishes. Right now he sits 5th in points. It's not been an amazing season by just straight up statistics, no wins, but he is having some pretty good finishes that's allowed him to gain a significant points lead over the 10th place. Right now he's not that far. I mean, he's about 14 points out of 10th, so got to keep that trend going. Charles Stevens battling with Josh Lokovitz. Both these drivers kind of stagnant, kind of hanging out right where they started. Both of them lost a spot. Charles Stevens gaining one of his back here by passing Lokovitz. Steven gets that position, but Brett Bieber trying to get back by both of these guys. Brett looks like he is pretty strong here. He's one of the faster cars on the track, so Brett Bieber turning some really fast lap times, able to run sort of that bottom line at the moment, so he is able to kind of go where these guys aren't. They kind of run that top side, and that's the danger. I talked about that, of running the top side maybe a little bit too early. Is while the top side does feel really good early, here late, especially around 30 laps, right around this time, if you burnt that right front up, that high side just won't work for you. And looks like Brett has saved his tires, and he's really rolling the center. You can always tell who burns their right front up based on how well they roll the center. And here comes Brett Bieber, going to pull right up in front of Charles Stevens, pull a slide job, and he's going to take over that 10th position. Because, man, this is a dogfight back here. As Brett going to drive right on by. Up front, it is still Andy Kurtz. Been out front all race long. Took it on lap 1 from Steve McDonald, Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner. Steven has fallen back to about 8th position. But you see Alan Nash trying to run him down. Garrett Kinder has fallen back to 4th place. Maybe pushed a little bit too hard early and has lost a couple spots. And then you go back here, you got Lucas Lyons, Tracy Passes, and Kenneth Pack. Kenneth Pack, one of those drivers who always seems to move up through the field, but does get caught up in some stuff, whether it's his doing or not. It doesn't really matter. He still gets caught up into things. But if he can keep these good finishes, right now he's sitting back in 15th. And while normally I don't cover points that often, we only have 3 races left until the playoffs, so they're going to start to become more of a factor. But Kenneth Pack's currently in 15th, and he's got some work he's going to have to do. So tonight he needs to have a good finish to get up there and jump in these playoffs. Alan Nash starting to slowly creep up onto the back bumper of Andy Kurtz. Will go on board with him, watching for a lap as he tries to hunt that number 5 machine down. Alan Nash has moved up 3 spots from where he started in that 5th position. And you see they're sort of running that bottom line. Seeing a lot of speed from that bottom line. So normally it just depends on the track conditions. Sometimes you'll see after this amount of time everybody move up to the top, but it's hard to say. You might run the bottom when you're running kind of by yourself, or when you make passes, you may want to try to get up to the top side, especially when you're trying to defend. Oh, Garrett Kinder coming down pit road. So pit road is open as Garrett Kinder brings the 13 machine. He is one of the first to come down pit road. Going to split this race into 3rd, so you know you're going to have 2 stops to get to the end of this thing. Always a danger to come down first, but if he can get out there and get those fresh tires, currently tires are worth about 1.3 seconds, so not much. But he'll get out there, and once the cycle completes, Andy Kurtz is going by now to put him a lap down. So he's hoping there's no caution in the next few laps. But if there's not, he should come out with a pretty good little lead, I would imagine. He was just a second or so back. So it should, just 1 or 2 laps he'll have jumped over them. But we'll see if anybody follows and comes down pit road with him. Looks like these guys, once they get to about, with these tires the way they are, once they get to about that 3/10 mark, they start to stall out. That dirty air just becomes a big factor. You can kind of see both of them, all top 3 right here, kind of separated by 3 to 4 tenths. And that's pretty indicative of that dirty air. And I'm telling you, it is wild. You'll go down in the corner, you'll feel like your car has a lot of grip, and then if you're down on the bottom, you kind of wash out on exit, and the truck in front of you is in the middle and comes down across your nose. You'll feel the front end just completely lose, and it'll just start to drive straight up towards the wall. You'll have to put more wheel into it or try to drag the brake a little bit. You can't lift. You lift, and that thing wants to turn right into the wall. So it's a tough deal trying to break through this dirty air. And here comes Kostick. Gonna give up that 3rd position and bring that 8 machine. Really comes in pretty hot. I think he made it, no problem though. And that's gonna bring in a lot of other folks as well. Tracy Passons, Kenneth Pack, another couple drivers that are coming down pit road. Stephen Gay, you see back there, or Spencer Gay, excuse me, and Mickey Isaac coming down to make their stop as well. So if you're Garrett Kinder, you're loving this, as once everybody starts to hit pit road, you can really start to make up those spots. Right now, he is 1 lap down, right behind your leader, who's coming down pit road now, so he will unlap himself. So the danger of a caution come out is not that real at the moment. So he should cycle around to your leader. Last lap, he was about a second, 1.3 seconds faster. Well, 1.3 seconds faster than your leader. So he'll likely assume the lead. You see he's going to drive by Mike Veith there. Everybody on pit rows. Andy Kurt's going to come out with Alan Nash right behind him, as Garrett Kinder going to drive right on by and start to put a pretty big gap. Now, Garrett did come down 5 laps ago, so he'll have 5-lap older tires than these guys. They should be able to run him down maybe towards the end of the run. But I think if you're going to short pit the first one. I think I've changed my mind on this. You short pit the first one, get that advantage, make those guys run you down, and then you pit with them next time because you've been able to gain that track position advantage. So I think Garrett Kinder, assuming no cautions, I think Garrett Kinder might be in a really, really good spot here. We'll see if he can maintain. He did fall off quite a bit, but, I mean, Andy Kurt's going to have to run him down from about 3.5 seconds. See Andy Kurt's right here coming off of turn 2. And Alan Nash, Michael Kostick still right behind him, not too far away. That does, it gives Tyler Rice the lead right now, who is out front. He's yet to make his stop. Going pretty long here on this this run here, but you see just how quickly those guys are driving away. It looks like Tyler, oh, no, I thought he was coming down pit road. He's just going so slow compared to the guys on new tires. I thought for sure he was coming down pit road, but he ain't. Him and Davy Jones, somebody else we haven't really talked about in that number 10 machine. But here he comes down pit road. So that leaves Tyler Rice, the only guy who's not come down pit road just yet. We'll see if he brings that 6th machine down this time. Does not. Going to stay out another lap, so he is going to be on track for 40 laps. Watch here as those new tires just blast right on by. Man, I really do love iRacing, what they've done. The skyboxes are so nice, especially with the sunset here at Homestead. Just awesome the way these things look, these tracks, especially around sunset. Definitely adds the gives you a kind of a feel that makes you feel like you're at an actual track versus like a static hitbox. This thing, the sun actually goes down at the same time that time moves in real life. So if you sit here long enough, that sun will continue to set, and eventually it'll get dark. And it might be dark by the end of this thing. We'll see. Tyler Rice still out on those old tires, going as long as he possibly can. I think we may be seeing him come down pit road right here. Brings it off of turn 4. He will give up the lead. And watch out for those barrels. That will give the lead over to Garrett Kinder, who has a 2.3 second lead over Andy Kurtz, who Andy last time by actually matched Garrett's lap time, this time about a 10th faster. So he is catching him. He's got fresher tires. He ought to. We'll see how hard Garrett Kinder ran. I think that's the tough part about trying to do an undercut. You want to come out and you want to drive as hard as you possibly can to make up a ton of time, but you end up burning your stuff up. It's almost better just to kind of take it easy, use that advantage without having to wear those tires out. So we'll see which one he did. He only has to run about 20 laps here on these tires. And if he can maintain, if he can let these tires equalize and keep running those good lap times, then he will he'll come out on top. But Andy's got to about the 2.3 second mark. Hasn't really closed up in the last lap or so. I don't know. Like somebody disappeared. That's Alex V in that 51 truck. Disappearing. Having some connection issues. Garrett Kendrick going to use a little bit of the draft and then try to dive down to the inside and maybe slide up in front of that 51 machine if he can. You see Garrett get a little bit loose through the middle of the corner, but able to clear him without much issue. So Alex V now first driver a lap down. If he gets a caution, he will be the lucky dog. So far, the only drivers a lap down are Alex and Mike V, Gary Wright, and Davey Jones. Right now, your current biggest mover is Kenneth Pack, who is started 11th, is right outside the top 5 as he's trying to chase down Tracy Pass. You can see just 10 laps, he's already up at the top. He's been one of those that's kind of committed up there. Really trying to use that to your advantage. Honestly, it's just more fun. I mean, regardless, you know, I've seen Tyler Rice run the top side to a detriment, knowing that it's not going to work out for him. He's going to burn his tires up, but he does it anyway. And I think it's because he has more fun doing it, and I can't agree more. Sometimes it's boring, you know, running the low line or something, especially if you go to a track like Homestead where the top actually works. You want to get up there near the fence and just let it rip. It looks like that's what Kenneth is doing here. Losing a little ground to Tracy Passes at the moment. We'll see if he can make it up towards the end. You can see a slight difference in the corners. They're not that big a difference, but 1 and 2 is a little bit more straightforward, where 3 and 4 has sort of a weird bend right in the middle. Go down into the corner. There's like a weird kind of, the track kind of turns a little bit more right there in the middle, and it almost can upset the truck. You're going to see a lot of guys off before kind of feel a little uneasy as the track, as the truck kind of unloads there. But in 1 and 2, it's a pretty solid all the way through. Look at Kenneth here getting all the way up against the wall as Tracy can dump that dirty air on the front end of this 16 machine. Let's go look at Garrett Kinder. That lead is now down to 9/10 of a second as Andy Kurtz is running him down pretty quickly. Just about a tenth or so a lap. But so far, been successful for Garrett, because, I mean, Garrett could try to fight him and hold him off for a good amount of time if he can. And if he can, then, you know, it's a win. If he falls back to 3rd place, it's a win. So he did a great job. You see how much, though, that Andy Kurt's able to charge into the corner, and he's gaining a lot of time on him as it's like Garrett's tires have fallen off a little extra. Yeah, about 4/10. Actually, Garrett just had a really bad lap that time by, so I don't know if he got loose or what. Or if he's just hitting that plateau for these tires right around the 19 lap mark. Right over halfway, and this race has been pretty good so far. No cautions as of yet. Let's watch Andy Kurtz get to the back bumper, and this is to be expected. You know, it's not surprising at all. I think Andy has been the fastest truck so far tonight. See if anybody's been able to kind of improve once they've come down pit road. They'll have to make another green flag stop, but seeing Kurtz get to the backbone of the 13 is no surprise. 5-lap fresher tires. You know, Garrett's going to struggle here. But what does Garrett do? I mean, he can fight pretty hard, try to keep that 5 truck behind you. I mean, Garrett just needs to hold off for about 12 more laps. So I don't think he's going to give it pretty easy, but I think Andy Kurtz is going to have plenty of room down here in the 3 and 4 to maybe make this slider. 13 is going to go all the way up to the wall. Let's see if Andy does have the run off the corner. He is going to be able to slide in front of that 13 machine and take over the lead. So Andy Kurtz back out front. 13 is going to have a run. Ooh, I think this is a bad idea. We'll see if he can make this work. I think Andy will be able to have the run off the corner and actually going to slow down Garrett. Kind of wonder, I mean, I know it's not in Garrett's DNA to get behind a guy, just let him by, but he's really drawing in Alan Nash here. He's going to side draft, go down the back straightaway, and Andy Kurtz going to take over the spot, and now he's got to look in his rearview mirror as Alan Nash going to get all the way to the back bumpers. That 13 is going to get loose there off the corner, and he's going to lose another spot as Alan Nash is going to drive right by him. But like I said, I mean, Garrett's got another second, 1.1 second back to Michael Kostick. You know, get in line, take your cut your losses. I mean, so far it's been a game. He came in 4th. He's running 3rd. Just about 10 more laps to go. If he can hold Michael Kostick off, it was a net gain, and he can continue to try that strategy for this last pit stop. I mean, it's going to be the money stop for sure, as he is. You know, if he can get back there, draft, run behind these guys, and hold off Michael Kostick, it would be a win. And then he can set himself up for that final stop. Check back here. Got Brett Bieber continues to move through the field along with Aaron Adcock. And these two have been really moving. They've up 5 spots from when they started. Aaron Adcock started in that 13th position, now running in 8th. But Brett Bieber has also been on the move. They've been able to make passes better than anybody else. We've seen that, as they sort of run nose to tail here, trying to get around Lucas Lyons here. On board with Aaron Adcock. You see everybody sort of running the fits at this point. And that's what I expect. I expect that to continue to be the thing. We'll take a look here. See what Aaron, he is locked in. I mean, no pictures on the wall. You can see he's serious. He ain't got a darn picture on the wall. No kind of artwork. This is a serious room. We'll have time to play games. You see, Lucas got really close to the wall there, and you saw when he come down off the wall right in front of Aaron, Aaron got a little tight off the corner and really had to check up a little bit. So we talked about that dirty air being a factor. You see he's kind of pointing that nose to the inside of Lucas, trying to get that truck to turn. But as he crosses over that back bumper of Lucas, he starts to lose the front end, and it makes it really sail off into the exit of the corner. So really, really tough to make this work. Actually gets a little bit loose right there off the top side. You love to see that. You hate to see things, you hate to see these trucks be tight. I'd rather see them loose any day of the week. But Michael Kostick has caught the 13 of Garrett Kinder. Garrett's just got a few more laps here before he's probably going to come down pit road, as he's running right up against the wall. Look at that. Couldn't put a piece of paper. Oh, his caution is out. Caution is out for Brett Bieber. The number 808 has spun down on the front stretch. I can't believe it. I did not expect a caution at all. And here we are, lap 58 of 100. And we got our first caution of the night. The 808, I mean, I don't really see any damage, so it might have just been a solo spin. But we'll go back and see if we can maybe find out what happened to him. It's like Alex Veith has called it a night. Take a look here on the Kinder Farming Ranch Wreckage Rewind and see what happened to the 808 of Brett Bieber. He's just down on the inside. Lucas gets in the wall. Aaron gets right on the back bumper of Lucas. I think he was, oh, they make contact. That's what happened. Contact with the 17. And he goes down to the inside wall. Doesn't really hit anything, so that's actually really, really good. But you're going to see here as they go down into the corner, Lucas gets into the wall, and Aaron's trying to avoid it. he gets loose and comes down and just tank slaps the 808. And what a great save. I mean, he did spin out, but I don't know if he did a little 2-foot smash there, but really great job keeping off the inside wall. Most of the time, there's no stopping that, and he did a great job. Go on board. Watch it from his point of view. I mean, you really just, you can't even see it's coming. And then right on 4, we've talked about it, that truck really unloads there. Still another great job of not having more damage. That could have been pretty nasty. So, all right, pit stops. Everybody's going to come down pit road right now, no doubt about it. We'll see if Andy Kurtz can win the battle off of pit road, and he does. Alan Nash is going to take over the 2nd spot, and Garrett Kinder holds on to that 3rd spot. So I think Garrett, you know, I think the times and the racing is so close up front that I think that if you can kind of come down pit road early and you can net a 1 spot, I think that's a big deal. And that's what he did. He came down pit road 4th. He's now running in 3rd. Now he's got equal tires. Doesn't have to fight against guys with newer tires. And so I think that 13 has a little bit new life. He knows what he did wrong in that. You know, and let's talk to the guy. I want to bring him up here. I want to talk to him about that. Let's see if he's learned anything to maybe apply to this next run here. Garrett Kinder, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy? Garrett Kinder. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Eddie. What's up?
Man, what's up? Well, I mean, you had a really great start to the race. You drove up to 2nd place, and then I don't know if you had some contact with the wall, but fell back to 4th. You short pitted, and you were able to get back to the lead and fell back to 3rd before that caution. Now you kind of got to reset. What did you learn from that first run that you can apply here, as now it's check cashing time here with just 40 laps to go?
Probably not to move up to the top just so quick. I got a little contact with the wall. I was flirting with it, pushing it pretty hard, and just overstepped a couple times, dropped me back, lost some track position. But yeah, just kind of, you know, Andy and Alan both up here, and Caustic behind me. They've got this bottom line figured out really well. So I learned from them on that first run just kind of what they've got going on, and I'm gonna try and emulate a little bit, and then try and pull the rabbit out of the hat here at the end.
Well, we've seen multiple times in different races here at Homestead that start off towards, you know, maybe on the bottom, work your way to the top. But it seems like the bottom and top both working right here with the track temp being right around 80 degrees. Is that something you're surprised to see? Did you expect that coming into the race?
Yeah, we played with it a little bit during practice, during qualifying. We even talked about all of our qualifying times, and me and Alan and Tracy all kind of ran different lines, but all ran very similar times. So something we talked about, and looks like, but bottom line looks like tire saver for sure.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you get back to it. You got 1 to green, man. Good luck for the rest of the race, man. Garrett Kinder. Seemed like he was kind of stifling his voice. I wonder if his girl was sitting next to him. Who knows? Well, we're gonna get ready to go green here. Andy Kurtz with the lead, with Alan Nash outside of him. Garrett Kinder in 3rd. Michael Kostick in 4th. Tracy Passons in that 5th position. And Kenneth Pack kind of stalled out, kind of rocketed through the field early, and has stalled out around the 6th place. So good time to reset if you've been working your way through the field. If you're Aaron Adcock, Mickey Isaac, those drivers who've been really moving forward. Stephon Davis, who had an EOL on start in the back. All those drivers up 5+ spots since the drop of the green flag. So now this gives them a great reset. You know, they're all caught up, and if they've got a race-winning truck, now's the time to put it to use, I'd say. Alex Veith calls it quits. I don't know if he got disconnected. Oh, he actually did. So Alex Veith actually loses. We saw him blinking out, and he disconnects. So another tough night for Alex Veith. Connection issues continue to plague that 51 machine. But green flag is out. Just a few laps to go, 37 to go as they cross the line. And Andy Kurtz with a great restart. And now it's going to be side by side between Garrett Kinder and Alan Nash. Garrett goes right down to the bottom, like he says. You see that bottom be so strong, especially in turn 1 and 2, before the trucks have gotten up to speed. Right around the bottom is where you want to be. Up top's a little bit too early. Once you get the momentum up in the truck, that's when you want to try to make passes on the top side. But we talked to Garrett Kinder. He said, I want to be on the bottom pretty early to try to save my stuff. Go back here, though. They are not trying to save their stuff. Oh, Kenneth Pack going to go down hit the wall. No contact is made, though. Maybe a little bit on that right front, but no other drivers. You see, he is all up against the wall right now. The only driver running that cushion up there. As now Josh Lokovitz looking down to the inside. We saw Lokovitz sort of fall off towards the end of that run, getting passed by some trucks, but it seems like on short run speed, he has got it. And man, Kyle Roberts, another one of those drivers up there, trying to make this work. Kenneth still trying to make that pass on Lokovitz, but it looks like Lokovitz going to take that spot. And we're seeing that top side. Like, I think Garrett made that comment that the top side just not quite ready to go yet. If you're up there working that side, that top side, you know, I don't know. You may be setting yourself up to failure here because we got a pretty long run. So I'm not really sure if I like Alan Nash getting up there soon, but I think he's just trying to make the pass on the 8. Alan Nash all the way up the track, but it looks like Kostic going to be able to take that spot, and Alan Nash kind of drives under him, going to try the old switcheroo. As they are running down, I mean, you could see how much different the driving styles are at the moment. As they're running side by side and they run down the leaders, so you can definitely tell Garrett Kinder, Andy Kurtz driving really easy here, not trying to push that truck. As Garrett, he talked about it, he got beat there on the long run, now trying to fix that for this run. But you saw how quickly how hard those guys are racing. They were running them down. Kostic able to take that spot. Now Alan Nash going to fall back into the hand of his teammates on the outside. And, you know, they're teammates, but it's funny they have so similar looking trucks. I don't think they planned it that way. So, Alan Nash going to get loose, trying to stay off his teammate. And Tracy Passage, what a guy. Going to let off and let him get it caught back up, but that's going to open the door for Lucas in that 25. Lucas running a Jimmy Johnson throwback scheme. As man, Kyle Roberts, something happened to him as he is slow on the track. That 35 having an issue. Man, no caution, but he did. He had a wreck as he gets loose off of turn 4, it looked like. We got a pass for second, maybe, as Michael Kostic all over the back bumper, and you see you could throw a blanket over the top 3. Take a look here on the picture-in-picture as Kyle Roberts gets loose, tries to stay off of Mickey Isaac, going to go up and hit the wall, and who gets hit is Stephon Davis. Is the 35 going to go way down on the inside and just clobber that truck. That is going to be damaged. He's going to have to go in and get that fast repair for sure. But he's down on pit road now trying to get that fixed. But, man, Stephon Davis just, gosh, I say it every week. That 60 machine got some damage there on the front, that front end all punched in. A beautiful truck, but, man, I tell you what, Stephon Davis, if there was a season-long hard luck award winner, it's going to be him. As, I mean, had an EOL tonight, trying to drive his way through the field and then gets caught up in that little contact right there with just 30 laps to go. You can't really pit. You're going to give up your whole race. But we get on short track, we get on Richmond next week. I think that 60 truck's going to finally find some good luck and get up there and maybe contend for a win. Extremely good short track racer, and just hasn't been able to find that good luck charm. Like he's able to keep it going at the moment. Chuck Phelps battling with Mickey Isaac. Down on the inside, Chuck Phelps. Got to say, I'm a big fan of this guy. He comes and helps me broadcast in some of the races sometimes. As he is now trying to make this work here on Mickey Isaac. It's so tough to make those passes on the bottom. Once the tires get about 15 laps in, you really have to try to make a slide job on the guy. Chuck's not a dirty driver like that. He just see the run that Mickey Isaac is able to get off the corner. But Chuck's having a good race, running in 12th. That's where he started, and he is currently maintaining that, just trying to get around Mickey Isaac here. It looks like he might have him cleared right now. You see him looking in the mirror, not quite able to jump. I think he had it clear, but that just shows how nice of a driver Chuck is. I think he could have cleared himself there, but didn't want to put Mickey in trouble. Continue to watch this battle. It's just gone on forever, it feels like. Still side by side. This is for 11th place. You know, we watched, I don't know if you watched the Cup race today, but these guys are racing their guts out for 20th place. And here at Rebels, it happens the exact same way. And I see some patient driving here. I don't see guys really overdriving the entry. Both these two are being really respectful. And I'm actually impressed with how well Chuck is able to hold off there on the bottom. See if he tries to clear him here. Does it, gives him that spot. But Mickey, I think he had him cleared. Now, I think Chuck's just a little bit too nice at the moment. Now, if you pass, you go around trying to lap Chuck, he'll dang put you in the wall. But if he's on the same lap as you, he's going to be super nice. And look how he's giving Mickey the top side, almost inviting him to get a run on him. So it looks like he's got him cleared now. We'll see if he slides up in front of him. No, he doesn't. Chuck have an opportunity to move up in front of him. Still side by side, these guys. I've got to go to the lead, Chuck. I was hoping you'd pull this pass off before I gotta change, but I gotta go now. We got to battle for the lead. Garrett Kinder takes over the top spot here on lap 75. As I think Chuck and Mickey Isaac are still side by side, but we're gonna go up here to the front. And Garrett did exactly what he said he was going to do. That, I think, man, that's impressive. In a fixed setup series, to be able to make the adjustments, you tighten that nut between the steering wheel and your seat, it'll make all the difference. So, still a long way to go in this thing. We've got about 25, 24, 23 laps coming to the stripe right now. Garrett Kinder's got the clean air. That's where he wants to be. And so far, so good. After 17 laps on these set of tires, able to make a pass. That's really impressive. So 13 goes out front. Ratchet Miller in. Oh, no, he grabs a little bit of the apron, gets a little bit loose. We'll see if Andy Kurtz can make a move. He's getting a run here. And see if he tries to do something with it. It's going to dive down to the inside. Here comes Andy Kurtz. He smells blood, sees that weakness. The 13 gets a little bit loose. Not used to having that clean air. They're going to be side by side, though, almost making contact out of 3 and 4. I don't think there's going to be that much give and take at this point, because I think this is going to be the race for the lead. I think you want to be out in clean air. 13's going to go way up right against the wall to try to get the run off the corner. I think he should be able to clear the 5 here. We'll see. Come off the corner. The 5 slips up just a little bit as we watch this battle from Michael Kostick's view. And Kinder gonna slide down in front of the 5. What a move to hold on to that top spot. Here comes the 5, though, gonna look up to the outside. Runs a little wide on the exit, not able to get the run this time, so Garrett Kinder will have this lead at least for a couple laps. But you saw the 13 get loose there, going down into 1 and 2, trying to put that left front tire right on the paint. Look how good he is at doing it. Michael Kostick as well. And you put that left front on the paint, it helps turn the truck a little bit. And as you get later in this run, you'll want that. So Garrett playing with fire, but sometimes it pays off. Play with fire, sometimes you get burnt. Sometimes you cook a steak. And that's a great time to shout out Kinder Farm and Ranch. As here comes the 5 down to the outside, man, really drives it down in there. We'll see if he can clear him. 13 gonna obviously do a slide job. The 5's gonna have a massive run. He's got a lap truck coming out on the track, but they are side by side for the lead. Andy Kurtz. I tell you what, Andy Kurtz is a dang killer. He goes out there and takes the lead back. Not gonna let Garrett Kinder get out too far, but here we go, the old switcheroo. Oh, Garrett's not gonna able to do it. It gets loose off of turn 4. As they come down to the stripe, but they are bumper to bumper. What does the 13 do here? Where does he go? He's going to look up to the outside. Michael Kostick loving to see these guys race this hard. Just 19 laps to go. here, nose to tail. I mean, you could throw a blanket over the top 5. They are 1.1 seconds between each other. And, you know, Michael Kostick wanted to see that battle continue, but Garrett Kinder's starting to fall back a little bit. So it looked like he had done a great job of saving those tires, but he is starting to lose ground to Andy. Andy Kurt's one of those drivers that if he races every week, he is in contention for almost everything. I mean, you can put a lawnmower. I mean, Garrett Kinder and Michael Kostick the same way. You can put one of them little roll around stools with the 3 or 4 wheels on it, and you know, like the doctors sit on in the doctor's office. You can put a couple of them on a track, and these 3 right here could race the hell out of them. And you can see, Andy Kurt's actually getting a little bit tight here as he really drove down in the corner. You can hear the RPM stay up for a long time as he drives right down to the center and sort of kind of checks up right in the middle and then gets right back on the gas. And it looked like Garrett Kinder was let off just a little bit earlier to try to get a better run off the corner, but they kind of draw equal here. Right now, Andy Kurtz loses the 10th last lap, but I think he was able to gain it back here. We'll see as they cross the stripe, because you can see he's got about, I don't know, about 4 or 5 car lengths between him and Garrett Kinder. I don't think this battle's over with. I think you could see a lot of kind of a rubber band effect with the way the tire fall off works in iRacing, where there's just plateaus that you end up on one side or the other. And it won't take much for Andy Kurt to drop back towards these guys. With only 15 laps to go, though, I'd rather be out front. You can see Andy Kurt's starting to paint that line here in 3 and 4. Michael Kostick, your points leader, he's having another fantastic run. Sitting here in 3rd place. He started back in the 7th spot. And, man, another great day for your points leader. I mean, that's why he is out front by over 30, almost 30, about 25 points he's got over Aaron Adcock. But Andy Kurt's currently leading this race. He's sitting there in 3rd in the points, so he is... He's had a great season as well. Average finish of 7th place. He's got that 1 win, so he knows how to get it done. I mean, he wins everywhere. I've seen him win in different leagues all over the place. As Spencer Gay looks like he has had some sort of issue. He's coming down pit road now. I think he actually, he may have wrecked and actually took the tow. Continue to watch this battle. There's some battles going all over the track. We're talking about Aaron Adcock. Look here at this battle. Brandon Wallace, Mickey Isaac, Aaron Adcock with Brett Bieber. And you see the 17 is hanging it out off the corner. Trying to make that top side work. And just 12 laps to go. Like it's really tough to pass the further you get into the back of the pack, and it looks like a lot of these guys trying to run the same line, and that just dumps so much air. You can see just how tight Aaron's not able to get back in the throttle soon enough, and through the middle of the corner gets a little bit tight, has to lift a little bit, and kind of almost loses the whole advantage of going to the top side, and see the danger of using the top side too much as he tries to drive down to the bottom, and the right front just won't support it. He's like a parent. If you maybe do a lot of drugs or something, they're just not going to support you, and that right front ain't going to do it towards the end of this thing. See him immediately go right toward up top. You can see he's just sliding. The whole front end is sliding. I mean, you can see the issue he's having now. He's stuck to the wall and trying to get up off the wall as he loses another spot. Going to lose one to Tyler and maybe even Steven McDonald. So Aaron Adcock struggling here at the end of this race. Just 10 laps to go. Well, Chuck, finally got ahead of Mickey Isaac. And, man, if he ain't running up in the 7th spot, he's about to make a move here on Josh Lokovitz. So we were talking about Chuck not too long ago racing with Mickey Isaac. Isaac's way back in 12th. Chuck's been able to kind of outlast all this whole group back there and has moved himself up in the 7th spot. Man, what a great run by Chuck Phelps. I mean, he's gained a ton of spots in this last run. We got a battle for second, though. Kostick has finally decided to make his move as Andy Kurtz starting to pull away. It's Andy Kurtz's race. The lose is here comes Michael Kostick to the outside as Garrett Kinder slides right in front of him. Kostick going to do the old switcheroo and go down to the inside and try to do a little slider here in 1 and 2. We'll see if Garrett can hold off. Garrett's starting to fall off just a little bit. But, man, what a cool shot as they come off the corner. And another switcheroo as Garrett Kinder going to look down to the inside yet again. I mean, this is the battle right here. There's nothing these guys are going to make up. Kostick's not going to run down Andy Kurtz. And Garrett's going to drive up in front of the 8. The 8 doesn't have the run this time to be able to do something with it, so he falls back in line. Now here comes Kostick down to the inside. The 13 really making that top side work, but the 8 does such a great job through the middle of 1 and 2. Man, actually clears him, and here we go. another switcheroo. I'm looking at the camera for Mickey Isaac. See him wiping the sweat off his brow. These guys are working hard. Garrett's going to get a little bit tight off of 3 and 4. Going to hurt that run down the front stretch. I think Kostick may have it here. We'll see what the 13 can do. Drives down to the corner. You can see that right front really struggling. He's not able to drive through the middle like he wants to. We'll see coming off of 2. I think Kostick's going to have him down the back stretch, but Garrett doing a great job, doing a little side drafting as to go down to 3. Just a few laps to go, and Garrett really drives really good through the middle. I think he's going to slide up in front of him. Oh, my goodness, as they almost make contact, and I think Kostick had to lift a little bit to not run over the 13. Here we go, another switcheroo. They're going back and forth. And I'm actually surprised about how well they're racing. But, oh, Garrett Kinder gets loose there coming off of turn 2, and he is going to lose that spot. And I don't know if he's going to be able to get it back. We'll see. Goes down low into 3 and 4, and Kostick runs the same line. And I think that's going to be it for that battle. What a great show between those two. Man, they're really racing as Garrett Kinder gets extremely loose off the corner there. I do like that we have somebody in chat named HP is loud, and they have Siri Sin. Oh man, I do like that. That is funny to me. 5 laps to go, coming to 4. Andy Kurtz is your leader by about 1.6 seconds over Michael Kostick now, who just took over the second position. And looks like Andy going to be able to pull away with this one without much issue. Let's go back here, man. Golly, I've been enjoying this racing as Mickey Isaac trying to get himself back in the top 10 as Lokovitz and Tyler Rice. Hey, Tyler Rice trying to win a damn award, looks like. He ran long on that first one, but look here. Tyler Rice up into the top 10, started 19th, running 9th. And he's going to run down Brandon Wallace here for 8th, I believe. He's about 3/10 faster, so, I don't know. Tyler Rice been drinking that power thirst. He's really moving. Spencer Gay has called it quits, so that's 2 DNFs for the end of this race. But honestly, really impressive. 23 drivers on the lead lap. Davey Jones, Gary Wright, Kyle Roberts, the only drivers 1 or multiple laps down. But here we go. Tyler Rice getting a run on the 99. Going to drive down. Ooh, actually checks up. And Brandon Wallace overdrives the corner. That's going to give the run to Tyler Rice. He gets down to the inside. I don't think Brandon's going to have the run off the top side since he kind of overdrove the entry, pushed up in the middle. I think he wanted that bottom side. But just 2 laps to go as we continue to watch Chuck Phelps and Tyler Rice pulled a sneaky on the field. They're up in the 7th and 8th position. So Tyler takes over that spot and continues to move forward in that Velocity Motorsports Ford F-150. But Andy Kurtz takes the white flag. 1 more lap to go. 1.4 second lead over Michael Kostick, and has just really been the dominant truck all race long. No surprise here. I think Garrett Kinder was a 3rd place truck all along because I think he did a great job trying to fight there. Definitely made it exciting. But Andy Kurtz, just too strong, comes off of turn 4. And Andy Kurtz is going to win here at Homestead and take his 2nd win of the season here in the Hardline Transport Solutions Truck Series. Man, wow, that was fun. Golly. Well, another reason why we love Homestead, it's just a racy track. We saw that. Just all the switcheroos you could, it's almost like it's like one of those cheap cereals you get at Walmart in the bag because your parents ain't got enough money to buy your real cereal. So you get the bag of switcheroos, and that's what we had tonight. Man, look at this. Tokyo drifting off the corner. Andy Kurt's going to take home the victory. Going to do a little burnout. You got to get the burnout in quick in Rebels, man. The old Rebels rumble at the end of the race. They don't let you celebrate here. You're going to get... you get maybe a half donut in, they all come plowing into you. Oh, and he actually blew his motor, so he didn't get to do 1 donut as Garrett Kinder just plowed into the back of him. So, well, man, what a great race. I tell you, man, what a fun series this has been. This season has been pretty awesome here in the Hardline Transport Solutions Truck Series. But let's go through the results, see where everybody ended up. And we see just the 1 caution, man. 28 drivers, 1 caution. So impressive. And we got a lot of really positive things here. And we got some awards to give out as always. We got to give out the Hard Charger Award winner. But Andy Kurtz takes home the win. Michael Kostick comes home in 2nd. Garrett Kinder comes home in 3rd. Alan Nash in 4th. Tracy Passon's going to round out the top 5. Big movers from here on back. Charles Stevens up 4 spots. He comes home in 6th place. Great finish. Chuck Phelps, man, look at this guy. That 75 machine all the way up to 7th. That just had a turbocharger on that truck on that last run. 5 spots from where he started. He comes home in 7th. Tyler Rice up 11 spots, and he is your no-neck fast repair hard charger. Yes, he moved up 11 spots from where he started. So, Tyler Rice, if you listen, man, great job, man. That was awesome. And a lot of fun to watch you drive up through the field. Another driver, a couple drivers moving really good through the field. Brandon Wallace in 9th. Mickey Isaac rounds out your top 10. Both those drivers up 8 spots from where they started. Oh, let's see. In 11th, we got Brett Bieber. In 12th, we got Josh Lokovitz. Kenneth Pack in the 13th. I mean, he had a great run. Kind of fell back towards the end of that thing. Yeah, I think he had a really fantastic race. Nothing to be sad about for sure. So I think he had a pretty solid race after I thought he was going to be a little bit closer to the front. Just maybe just didn't have a great last little segment there. But he comes home in 13th. Steve McDonald comes home in 14th. 15th is going to be Lucas Lyons. 16th, Stephon Davis. Still looking out for Stephon to have a great run at some point and surprise us. I think maybe Richmond is going to be that place. Jeremiah Holt comes home in 17th. 18th is going to be Aaron Adcock. 19th, James Nelson. 20th, Matt Clemens. 21st is Tommy Osborne. 22nd, Curtis Sauberin. 23rd, Mike Veith. 24th, Davey Jones. 25th, Gary Wright. 26th, Kyle Roberts. And your 2 DNFs are Spencer Gay and Alex Veith. Alex Veith, excuse me. Well, alrighty. Well, we have some awards to give out. Or we do have some awards to give out. The Hard Luck Award by Andy Kurtz. I don't really know too many people had some really bad luck, but we'll give it to Alex V, who got disconnected, so that's sort of a bummer. So we'll give him that award. It's a tough award to give out. I don't like giving out that award, but waiting for these guys to get down into the room. We'll get to the interviews. That rolling. We're gonna start as always with your third place finisher, Garrett Kinder. Garrett, this Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you, Eddie. What's up?
Well, man, a great race out of you. I mean, it was a lot of fun to watch you, especially you and Caustic there at the end. That was just a blast, man. Y'all were going back and forth, just so many switcheroos, and Caustic was able to get you there at the end. It looks like those tires started to fade. What else did you need there at the end to maybe get up there and battle more with Andy Kurtz or try to hold off Caustic there?
Man, I really don't know. I ran it the best I knew how, but set up a little loose, roasted that right front or right rear off as per usual, and was just having fun hanging on. Like I said, cutting it up there with Caustic, it was fun. Kurtz, man, he had us covered pretty easy. If I let Caustic go right there, he might have had something for him, but I couldn't pass off the opportunity to have a little bit of fun.
Well, I mean, you set the record. Chat is the chat here in the stream is kind of going crazy. You set the record for the most switcheroos in the race, and so I don't know if you want the award, I can send it to you. But congratulations on the most switcheroos. So congratulations on that.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll send you my mailing address.
Okay, good race out of you, man. It was a lot of fun. Just a little bit on the long run, just seemed like it was all you were missing. But overall, still though, a really fantastic race. And able to get Kinder Farm and Ranch out there on the track and get them a lot of screen time. It just seemed like the top side didn't work as much as we've seen in the past. Do you have any idea what might have caused that?
I think setup was a little bit loose on exit and then just a touch tight on entry. The lift points were a little bit different than usual. So if you didn't lift the right point, you were sailing up towards the fence and kind of had to ride brake and try and just maintain a little momentum, but it was very difficult. Other than that, no, high side, it was pretty much a defense line. If you can get up there and not let them clear you through the middle, it was kind of a defense line, but it was not a passing line for certain.
Well, third place, still a great finish. I mean, out of 28 drivers in a field like this, that's really, really impressive. So congratulations to you. And as always, man, who you got to thank?
Of course, got to thank my wonderful wife who's sitting back here playing video games right beside me. So thank her for letting me do this race and stuff. Kinder Farm and Ranch Ratchet Speed Shop, been with me since day one. Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers. If you want to keep your stuff hot and keep your stuff cold for cheaper and longer than anybody else, make sure to check out Big Frig and Cross 5 cattle coolers at bigfrig.com. Teammates, Reaper Racing, Po Man. I fly both flags, I guess, hang out with both of them. So big shout out to both of those guys and everybody over Lost Motorsports. Thank you up in the booth. And Brandon and Matt for keeping this league up and running.
All righty, well, there you have it. Third place finisher, Garrett Kinder. Let's jump right into it. Second place finisher, Michael Caustic in that 8 Jack Daniels Chevrolet. Come home in second place. You had an awesome battle there at the end between you and Garrett Kinder. Talk a little bit about that as y'all were coming down to the close of this race.
Yeah, I got a little bit of excitement in the race. Before that, I was kind of just stuck there. I couldn't gain, wasn't really losing any ground, so I was kind of just running the bottom. But yeah, I had a little bit of fun there with him. It's always fun going back and forth racing him.
Yeah, I mean, you started way back in 7th, so you weren't able to make passes. Did it just seem like y'all were so close on speed that was the sort of the difference? The dirty air was really just the main issue there. You're just running such close lap times. You're not really able to bust through that. We saw at some point during the race, the top 3 was separated by almost exactly 3/10 between all 3 of you drivers. Is that what you kind of saw? Y'all were just so close in times that where you were on the track sort of made all the difference?
Yeah, I mean, track position was important. There was kind of a problem with dirty air. Like, you almost hit a bubble. You could jump up to the high line, get a run, and then start a battle, but then at that point, so early in the race, you just lose so much ground to the other guy, just going back and forth there. So it was just kind of picking the battles and where you need to race at.
Well, you came home in second. You still got that points lead. You're not really going to lose any points. You got to feel pretty good in the next 3 races. You don't have a huge lead. I mean, we look at the standings here real quick in just a weird fashion on the screen, but you see you had a 24-point lead going into the night. Going to extend that just a little bit, but you're not out of the woodwork. You're not locked in. And you need to be above that cut, which you probably are. But are you thinking about that at all? Do you care about the points? Are you worried about this championship? Or are you just kind of taking it one race at a time?
Just kind of going one race at a time, just having fun coming out here racing with all these guys. Yeah, I mean, the next 3 races I feel can be pretty good races for me. Richmond, I run pretty good at, and so same with Atlanta, and New Hampshire's kind of hit or miss. So, yeah, I'm not concerning myself too much with that. Just kind of hopping into sessions and having fun.
Well, I mean, we talked about your stats a little bit before the race. You have you're going to improve upon this. Your average finish of the whole season after 11 races is fourth. That's really impressive. And in a season where winning doesn't get you into the playoffs, I mean, consistency is king. And right now, I mean, you're having an incredible season as you've kind of taken control of the points lead and really haven't looked back. But I mean, an average finish of 4th out of usually about 30 drivers is really impressive. The next driver on the list is an average finish of 7th. So, I mean, what is it in this series that you're doing that you're able to kind of be head and shoulders above everybody?
Just trying to keep the nose clean and stay out of trouble, not piss too many people off. So just try to be there at the end.
All right. Well, there you have it. Second place finisher, Michael Kosick. Who you got to thank tonight?
Thank you for doing the broadcast, Matt, for all the work he does for the series and all the other admins, and my teammates at Bandits.
All righty. Second place finisher, Michael Kosick. But we got your winner, the man of the hour, going to lead 80 laps out of 100. Andy Kurtz is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yo, what's up?
Man, well, we've been talking to you a lot here lately, and it seems like here in these trucks, I mean, just every once in a while, Andy Kurtz shows up and he whoops the whole field's ass. And tonight is sort of what happened, man. You had speed that others didn't have, especially on the long run. You guys were talking about how tough it was to pass, but you seemed to have a little bit extra sauce. You had Michael's secret stuff in your water bottle, obviously, is you're able to take over the top spot late from Garrett Kinder. You had the lead early and led 80% of the race, math. And talk a little bit about how you did it. What was the secret? I mean, everybody else was kind of in groups. You had Kosick, Kinder, and Nash, and then you had a couple other drivers, and you had groups of them, but you kind of separated yourself as the lead dog about halfway through this thing. What do you think you were doing differently now that we kind of look back on the race?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've done quite a few races here, and normally just haven't been good. But yeah, I tried doing. Remember what my old buddy Jonah said and did, and how he runs here, and just really committed to the bottom, and that's what I tried doing the whole run. The truck felt pretty loose compared to at least what I remember it being, so that really helps. Honestly, it felt really fun to drive, so it wasn't real tight like it normally is. The right rear was wearing more than the right front, so that was really cool to see that. So yeah, I think clean air was really important. We were really close on fuel that last run, and I was saving a little bit, and I didn't like let Kinder go by me, but he caught up to me, and then he passed me, and I was like, oh shoot, don't know what it's like in dirty air, and it was really tough, really tough racing behind him. So I think I was a little lucky the whole race just having that clean air. So that certainly helped my long run speed for sure.
Yeah, well, you definitely saw that because when Garrett got around you, I thought, oh man, he might start pulling away, but no, immediately you turned on the gas and went right back around him and took control of the race. So, man, really a lot of fun. 2 stops, 2 really clean stops. You had the caution. But it honestly just didn't seem like there was much competition for you tonight. Only 1.4 second finishing, gap between you and Kosick, but it was definitely feels like a lot more than that. As it didn't seem like there was really anything anybody could do. So congratulations on whooping everybody's butts and taking home the win tonight. And as always, man, who you got to thank?
Thanks, man. Yep. Thanks as always, every week for doing a broadcast for us. Do an awesome job. Thank everyone here at Rebels, Chuck Pegleg Feltz, Next Fast Repair, Kinder Farm and Ranch, and Flexible Freight Solutions for helping us.
All right, well, there you have it. Your winner here tonight, Andy Kurtz in that number 5 Chevrolet, takes home the victory. And in a dominant fashion, man. Just a great race. That was your Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show, and we're going to call it quits here tonight. So congratulations to Andy Kurtz. Congratulations to the podium. And congratulations to a couple shout-outs I want to give. Chuck Feltz, Tyler Rice, Brandon Wallace, Mickey Isaac in the top 10 there. Strong runs. I mean, they didn't look into that at all. That was just pure driving ability, drive up through the field there late and come away with those really good top 10 finishes. Alan Ash in 4th, Tracy Passing in 5th, all making their statements, making their, making their call that, hey, we're going to be a threat to win this championship. You're going to have to come out like Andy Kurtz tonight, and you're going to have to dominate, or we're going to be there to take it from you. So going to keep these guys on their toes as we get down towards the end of this thing, and I expect nothing less out of the Rebels Truck Series. So looking forward to that. Looking forward to the next few weeks. We'll take a look at the schedule one more time. You'll see we're going to Richmond next week, and then New Hampshire. Then an off week to think about it. Give a little thanks to how great the season was, and then we'll come back for Legacy Atlanta there on the 26th. What a fun race that is going to be. And then we hit the playoffs at Rockingham in Texas. Then we'll end the season at Charlotte. 5 drivers, the top 5. Going to take 10, cut it in half. 5 drivers going to race it out at Charlotte, 100 laps. And that'll be a good time. And that'll be just in time for Christmas. So be a nice Christmas present for somebody. Who's it going to be? We'll find out. Thank y'all for watching. Eddie Smith, V-Speed Racing Network. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit subscribe. If you're not subscribed to V-Speed or V-Speed 2, go over there and subscribe to those two. Might as well. I want to thank Matt Clem and Brandon Wallace for putting all this stuff on. Matt Clemens, the admin here. Brandon Wallace, admin over at ARCA. They do a great job. Tomorrow night, we'll be back with the Bluegrass Truck Series. Just a couple races to go in that series as we get ready to crown a champion there as well. And then we'll hit the Track and Fastenal Winter Series, Tour Mods at Thompson Speedway. That'll be a lot of fun. Then we hit Goat Locker on Wednesday for a great race in the next gen car. Y'all have a great night. We'll see y'all next time. Take it easy.